Hello everyone, how are you? I hope that you guys are doing okay. And if you're like me and then you have decided to stay at home, I hope that this will help you a little bit, at least to keep your mind off all of the things that are happening right now. And this is for you guys who have trained with me, but if you decide that you want to share this with anybody else because you think that that could be helpful for people to start training something at home, then so be it. I mean, feel free to pass it to other people. So the reason why I decided to use the sticks as a way to start again is because I think that is something that you can practice alone. It's very simple and keep you thinking about other stuff and focus on a new material rather than start already doing the punch and kicks. If you don't have a stick at home for whatever reason, or you cannot order, you can also use an umbrella. You can just either open like this. You can even use a magazine. In fact, in some videos, I'm going to start using the umbrella instead. So, you can have fun with that. And also because I like to use that, as you know me, I like to explain the improvised weapons. And this is one of my improvised weapons. And again, if you have never trained with me, improvised weapons are everyday objects that you can use as a way to defend yourself. And that's the key concept of defending yourself. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to put these to the back. We are going to be doing both single sticks and double sticks, or single umbrella and double umbrella. First thing that I'm going to start explaining, for you guys who have trained with me in Balintawak, some of these are going to be very familiar because it's very similar. Although remember, this is Kajukenbo, this is not Balintawak, okay? This is actually part of our curriculum here in New York City. And I'm going to start with a single stick because it's easier to start with just one so you don't get so confused. And I'm going to start with explaining the ranges that we have, or the distances that we have. The first distance is, imagine that I'm holding a stick and another person is holding a stick. We're both extending our sticks. So the first and the longest of all, the first distance is going to be the one in which I can strike the hand of the other person. In this case, let's say that the person extends and the hand is kind of like right here. So I can strike the hand comfortably, but I cannot reach the head. So where I can strike the hand, but I cannot strike the head, and that is the first distance that we have. If we get a little bit closer, and now we have closed the distance, now I not only can strike the hand, but I can also strike the head. In fact, it's more comfortable for me to strike the head. That will be the second distance that we have. And in this distance, I should be able to strike with my hands, and I should be able to kick comfortably as well. So that's the second distance that we have. That's equivalent, and for those of you who have trained with me, Kajukenbo, you know that this would actually be your long range distance. Okay, so again, first distance, I can just strike the hand that you used to strike me. A little bit closer, now I can strike the head, but I can also kick. And then if I get closer, now shorter range, I can touch the other person. Whether I can punch, I can touch the shoulder to grab, or I can grab the hand. That's a third distance that we have. What happens if we get closer? Now, the way that we're going to use the stick is going to be different, but keep in mind that this is a distance in which I can elbow, or I can headbutt, or I can knee the person. So again, for those of you who have trained with me, Kajukenbo, this would be the short range for us, okay? In this case, we can grab the person, we can grapple, and then we can also elbow, we can also headbutt, okay? As I said before, although you're going to see it in a little bit, we will have to use the stick differently. Why? Because again, from this distance, obviously I can extend my stick. When I'm this close and the person is right here, I'm not going to use that much the stick as I'm going to use the butting. In this case, we call the butting to the puño. Sometimes it's also referred to puño, to this side of the stick. And yes, I can start using, I can also use the middle of the stick, but I would have to incorporate much more mechanics. And then final one is when we go to the floor. And I know that it's technically composed of many distances. I mean, the floor itself is different if I'm standing and the other person is on the ground than if I'm on the floor with the other person on the floor, okay? But just keep in mind that that's gonna be the last distance that we're gonna see. So I'm gonna explain the 12 basic strikes, and we're gonna come from the shortest of ranges standing, meaning I'm not going to do the same on the floor. I'm just gonna keep standing today, and then we're gonna go progressively towards the back, and hopefully that will be useful and you're gonna get it really quickly. So the first, I'm gonna explain that to you, so it's gonna be easier. The first angle of attack is gonna be 45 degrees down. From my perspective, would be right to left, 45 degrees down, but if you're seeing me, it's gonna be the opposite for you. It would be your left to right, right? So if I'm going right to left, that's going to be the strike, right? Now, first strike is going to be, as I said before, head 45 degrees down. Second one is going to be 45 degrees down, left to right. Third one is going to be right to left horizontally. Fourth is going to be left to right horizontally. Fifth is going to be an uppercut or through the belly straight. We're going to see the difference in a second because that's going to be a little bit different depending on the distance that you have. You are going to go all the way through. Now, 6 is going to be on the chest and it's going to be left to right. 7 is going to be on the chest, but now it's going to be right to left. Then you're going to go low and then you're going to do 45 degrees up, left to right. And then you want to end in this side, and then you want to do the knee on the other side, right to left, 45 degrees up, the same thing. Then following, we're going to do 11 is going to be to the eye height, okay, eye height. You're going to go all the way through. And then 11 is going to be right to left, eye height, the same as you were doing before, but now in the opposite direction. Now the 12 is going to be a straight down towards the head, and then the 12 plus 1 is going to be repeating the same strike, but now right all the way through. Okay, so I know that there's a lot of words, but you're going to see it in a second. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on the different strikes. And to explain to you one thing, as you probably have noticed, every time you strike, you're going to go all the way through, and whatever it is that you end, that's going to be the beginning of the next strike. So you're going to go first high, then you're going to go center, then you're going to go thrust to the chest, then you're going to go low to the knees, then you're going to go thrust to the eyes, and then you're going to end up striking head. And yes, this is borrowed from the Filipino martial arts, and this is just a system that I like to use because it's very simple. You don't have to really memorize anything. You just need to know that you're going to start at 1, and then whatever it is that you finish is 2 and 3 and 4. So that's it. There's no footwork yet because we're going to add that in a different class, but there's no footwork with the strikes. The strikes are just the strikes. So you're going to do them without moving, okay? So for you guys who train with me in Balintawak, this is going to be a little bit awkward because you know that every time you strike, you're going to move. But in this case, the movement can be random. Like I could do a 1 just by stepping like this, and I can do a number 1 by stepping like this back. So there's really no difference. It's still a number 1, okay? It might throw you off because obviously the angles are different because again, this is not Balintawak, this is Kajukenbo, and the way that we are training here in New York City, this is the curriculum that I normally teach, okay? So, first, we're gonna start with right to left, a 45 degrees angle attack on the head that I was describing before, but keep in mind that as I said before, if I'm that short, there's so little range, I cannot use the stick. So imagine that the head is right here. Look how close it is. I definitely cannot use this to be efficient, right? So I can use either my puño or the batting, depending on if you're practicing a Filipino martial art or the other one. This is called the puño or the batting, okay? So the butt of the stick or the puño are going to go 45 degrees down. So you can use that, or you can use it with your fist, literally just punching all the way through. So every angle that we're going to describe Now I'm gonna repeat it twice. I'm gonna do one with the puño and the other one with your fist. With the puño, it's gonna be 45 degrees down. Again, strike all the way through and bring it back immediately. Why? Because remember that, yes, in long range, when I do this, there's no way you're gonna trap it without hurting your hand, right? But when I'm this short, if I didn't make contact or for whatever reason you were fishing or blocking, if I offer you the stick, you might trap it. So to avoid that, every time I strike all the way through, I bring it quick back to my protection, okay? In this case, we call this anchor, so you anchor in this side. So again, 45 degrees down, I'm gonna use the puño, or I can use also the fist punch. Kind of like, imagine when you were doing a hammer fist, but in this case, you're gonna go with your fist punching this way, okay? So again, punching, and I'm coming back. So again, you can do it one time with the puño, the other one with your fist, okay? Second one, you're gonna do the same from the other angle. It's gonna be 45 degrees down to the head, and you're gonna use the puño, okay? Or you can use the fist to punch the face. Always make sure that you make contact between the second and the third knuckle when you do, and that you don't make contact with the fourth or the fifth knuckle, okay? So again, one, you're gonna do it with the puño, the other one, you're gonna do it with the fist, and come back, okay? So number 3 is going to be a horizontal, as I said before, side to side. And in this case, you can do it again with the puño, like this. Imagine striking to the belly, the abdominal area, or to the ribs. Striking, and you continue all the way through. And as you saw, when I strike, I continue by going straight to the other side. I don't do this because there's no opportunity for me if you're that close. So I strike and I bring it back. Second option would be, again, using the fist. I strike with the fist, I punch right there, and I come this way, okay? Now, number 4 is going to be the same from the other angle. So I'm gonna strike right there to the ribs or the stomach, and I'm gonna bring it back to the other side. But I can also use my fist to punch the ribs or the liver and bring it to the other side, okay? So again, I'm gonna repeat number 4 and 4 with a punch. Number 5 is gonna be a thrust to the belly. But now, look at it. This is a little bit different because I'm gonna actually go to the belly or strike up as an uppercut. In this case, this is just to lower your body so I can go strike up with the strike as an uppercut with the end of the stick. Why can I use the end of the stick in this one? Because as you can see, even if you're here, it's still comfortable for me to go and striking in this direction. But from these angles are going to be a little bit more awkward, right? So 5, I can go all the way through. I can also, of course, use the punch like an uppercut and come all the way to the other side so I can protect my stick. So again, 5 or number 5 with an uppercut. So you can use your body mechanics to actually emphasize more the power. So you bring it down and push up all the way through, or you can use your body mechanics by using the punch, use your hips, punch all the way through, okay? Make sure that you don't extend. That's very important because you're in short range and then there's nothing that you can extend, okay? For number 6, you can strike to the chest or the neck with the butting like this and going all the way through. Again, punch and come back all the way through. You're not going to go all the way with the stick, extending the stick, but you're gonna strike and come back right away. So you strike and come back to the other side, okay? You can also use a punch. You can punch the chest or the neck and come back, okay? Now, the following one is going to come from this side. In this case, number 7 is going to be the same that you just did. You can, it's the same height, it's the same level, but from the other side, and you can strike, as I said before, with the puño, strike in the chest and bring it back, or you can use your fist, punch and bring it back, okay? Again, chest or neck, 1 or 2. Okay, now we're gonna go low, and we're gonna go for 8 and 9. 8 and 9 can be technically to the knees, 45 degrees up, but we're gonna go in this case a little bit lower because there's not much that you're gonna achieve by doing that with the with the puño. In this case, we're going to keep it lower. We're going to go to the center or the side of the belly, the lower belly, up like this, or it can be also the balls. Okay, so again, this way and chamber to the other side. So again, strike up and chamber to the other side. You can also do the same with the puño here, punch and bring back to the other side. So again, punch and bring back to the other side. Number 9 is the same, but from the other side is 45 degrees up, puño. Again, same thing. It could be a little bit side. It's going to be the lower abdominal area or the balls. Up, bring it back, or you can use a punch as a substitute. Punching, bring all the way back. Same as I said before. Be also careful of not extending. It's not extending. It's making contact with whatever it is that you're going to hit and bring it all the way to the other side to protect your stick, your weapon. Okay. So we're done with 8 and 9. Number 10 and 11 are going to be side of the face all the way through. So this is going to be like if you were punching with this hand, but in this case you're using the puño, boom, and you're going to bring it back all the way through. Again, punch all the way through, or it could be actually a punch from the side, this way, punching and bring it back. Okay, so again, it could be this and bring it back. So I want to repeat, one with the puño, second one, angle a little bit with a fist, punch, and go back. Number 11, same thing, but from this side. I strike with the puño, that's going to be one option, and I bring it back. Or punch with my fist, punch in like this, and I bring it back. So again, one with the puño, the other one, punch with a fist. Number 12 is going to be a punch straight to the face and going downwards like this, okay? And I'm going all the way through, boom, right there, got it? Or it could be a punch, straight punch like this, punch and bring it back. So then you're punching, but bring it back. So again, puño or fist, right there. And number 12 plus 1 is going to be same thing from the other side. Downwards first with the puño, like this. And I now finish in this area, okay? Here, and I finish this area. Or punch with a fist and bring it back. So I'm going to repeat one more time. Now I'm going to just repeat it. And I'm not going to describe everything because you probably have seen it and you're familiar now. Number 1, all the way through with the puño, 1 with the fist, 2 with the puño, 2 with the fist, 3 with the puño, 3 with the fist, 4 with the puño, 4 with the fist, 5 with the end of the stick, 5 with the fist as an uppercut, 6 with the puño, 6 with the fist, 7 with the puño, 7 with the fist, go low, 8, now is the abdominal area with the puño, now with the fist, 9 with the puño, 9 with the fist, 10 with the puño, 10 with the fist, in this case angle a little bit and go back, 11 with the puño, all the way through, and 11 with the punch, with the fist, and then from here, 12 with the puño, 12 with the fist, and 12 plus 1 with the puño, 12 plus 1 with the fist, and go back, okay? So now, this is short range. What happens if we get a little bit of distance? Again, now I can punch, but I cannot elbow, I'm not that close. Now is when I can start using the middle of the stick. Can I use the stick? Can I use the middle of the stick? Yes. Can I use the puño? I'm sorry? Yes, you can use the puño. But in this case, you can also use the middle of the stick, and you can even lean backwards a little bit so you can gain a little more distance. So it's the same attack, the same angles, but now we're going to use the middle of the stick, okay? We're going to go all the way through 1 head, all the way through 2, all the way through 3, all the way through 4, all the way through 5, all the way through 6, all the way through 7, all the way through 8, all the way through 9, all the way through 10, all the way through 11, all the way through 12, all the way through 13. In this case, you're going to see that I'm actually going all the way through, but in reality, when you strike, you're aiming for this again. You're not extending all the way your stick. You're supposed to strike and then come back right away. So I'm going to repeat one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 plus 1. That's it. Now, the whole idea is for you to be familiar with this and to be able to execute all of it within distance, okay? Now, if you pay attention, as I said before, and again, if you want, you can do one time just doing this over and over again. The second time, you're gonna pay attention more to the footwork and the change of heels, how one heel goes up and the other one goes down, etc. Because you're supposed to add everything together. I know that it's difficult in the beginning because managing to, be able to do everything and then focus on the footwork, the hips and the knees and the extension. It's too much in the beginning, so break it down. One time you're gonna do it just focusing on the strikes and the targets. The second time you can add the footwork. The third time you can add a little more of the hip work until you feel comfortable. So again, this is still short range. Now what happens if we move a little bit now, and now I can obviously extend more and I can even use the end of the stick. Now I'm going to remain with my stick. Let's see it from close. When I strike, I'm going to remain with my stick and my wrist to be straight. I'm not going to extend my wrist. Why? Because yes, technically you will have longer range, but the moment that you make impact with something, especially if you are used to strike something hard, or if you're used to use that against a heavy bag, you're going to know that it's not pleasant for your wrist, because that extension plus this coming back will hurt your wrist. So to avoid that, you're going to emphasize, and this is why it's more crucial than ever to start from the beginning, building a good body mechanics, because that body mechanics will add an extra oomph to everything that you do. So it's not only this, but now, since you're used to using the same mechanics from the beginning, short range, you maintain the same mechanics and you just add that extension of your arm, okay? So that's all it is, an extension of your arm. It's nothing else. It's not like extending your wrist, it's just an extension of your arm to whatever it is that you were doing. So I'm gonna do it long range. Number 1, all the way through. Number 2, all the way through. Number 3, all the way through. Number 4, all the way through. Number 5, all the way through. Number 6, all the way through. Number 7, all the way through. Number 8, all the way through. Number 9, all the way through. Number 10, all the way through. Number 11, all the way through. Number 12, all the way through. Number 12 plus 1. See that on the 12 plus 1, I strike and I switch and I come back in the same position, okay? Can you do it like this? Yes, it's okay, but get used to finish in this position, okay? So 12 plus 1, one more thing that I was gonna say about the basic strikes is not only about the footwork, not only about the angles, but also keep in mind that every distance will have a different way of executing, okay? As I said before, when you're short range, super short range, there's no way I can use a stick. I'm going to use the padding on my puño, on my fist, sorry, and when I'm in a little bit of more range, I can start using the middle of the stick. I still have to incorporate that body mechanics. When I'm in long range is when I can start using the strikes all the way through. Always pay attention to this switch. In fact, you can start practicing this in isolation, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. This is going to be very useful, especially from the beginning. You can start with the feet, but then switch with imagine that you're going to knee whatever it is that you're going to twist towards. You're going to twist towards that side, you're going to use this to knee. that's gonna add that power, extra power. And when I do twisters that side, I'm gonna lead with the other one, like this. So every time you twist, add that extra knee, and that's gonna make a huge improvement on your power. So again, one more time, 1, super slow, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna stop here, 5. Why? I can go straight to your belly and then continue like that, or I can go straight right away and go to an uppercut. Both are valid, and now you can really do it because you can take advantage of a longer range to dig deeper on the belly, okay? So you can practice both, 5, 6, 7, go low, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, or 12.1, sorry, okay? When you strike, don't extend your wrist, just strike all the way through and use your body. Don't try to compensate by using too much the power of your muscles. It's just biomechanics, okay? So try that, and in the next video, I'm going to explain to you basic blocks and from short range and longer range, okay? So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.